If you're looking to build your business based on repeat and referral clients, you have to listen to this week's episode. I sit down with Christa Curtin and we go through 4 key ways that she builds her business. So that way she's constantly working with people that she knows, she likes, she trusts, and that know, like, and trust her back. So that way she can build relationships around friends or a business around friends, not just chasing the new lead source over and over and over. That's this week on the Real Estate Success Whissel Way podcast. Welcome to the Whissel Way podcast. I am joined with a special guest host today, Christa Curtin. Christa's been on with the Whissel Realty Group for about a year, and one of her superpowers that she has been willing to share with us today is how she builds repeat and referral clients by really going deep and building lifelong friendships with her clients that she goes through. And so I'm going to go talk with her today and break down a couple things that she does that you can do in your business to really help build longevity in your business. Would you say that's right, Christa?
Yeah,
cool.
Definitely.
Now, I want to be very clear. If you're in this business and you say, hey, I want to get in, get out, I'm going to be here for 2 more years before I go on to the next thing, maybe this isn't for you, right? This is a long-term relationship building, right? It's like if you see real estate as your kind of a dating app where you're just looking to date around, maybe this isn't the podcast for you for today. But if you're saying, look, this is where I want my career to be, this is where I want to build my business, I want my business to be scalable, I want my business to be less focused on new leads and internet leads and bowing down to portals such as the big ones out there, and you want it to be more about people, then this is a great one for you. Did you say that's right?
Absolutely.
Cool.
You want to be in it for the long run. You got to build on those relationships.
Yeah, and it's funny because I told Kyle, I've told him for years, I've worked with him for coming up on 9 years now, and I could tell him, I said, this person's not going to make it, this person's and he goes, what makes you say that? And I go, well, they're doing activities to make them business now, but then the client closes and they forget about him and they never talk to him again. And I go, that's not how you build long-term business. That's how you continuously grind and grind and grind and grind. And now I'm not saying that going this way is you still don't have to do that, because obviously you are a perfect example of someone who wants to grow your business. So coasting isn't something that ever is on your mind. But we're going to talk about, we've got 3 really cool ways that you use to help grow your business. It's cool. So before we get into that, this is the Whissel Way podcast, the Real Estate Success podcast. I am your host, Bryan Kochi, again, with Christa Curtin today, one of our agents on the Whissel Realty Group. If you like this, if you want more information like this and you want to grow your business, go to thewhisselway.com. We have all sorts of information on there about our Facebook group, our YouTube channel, you can subscribe to the podcast, you can join our weekly email newsletter, and you can also learn more about our Media Mayor Mastermind course. This is a course that Kyle and I put together that literally walks you through step by step by step exactly how to build content for your business and to grow your business via content. Another long-term strategy that has worked extremely well for us. That is thewhisselway.com. And what I would love from this, if you're listening to this and you go, this is good information, I want to learn more about it, or I want to share this with my friend, go ahead and share this podcast, whether it's you're watching it on YouTube or listening to it on a podcast. Share it with someone that you think would find it interesting. So all that being said, Christa, let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's get into the content. Let's give your first kind of check-in, or not your first tip. How do you build a business that fosters repeat and referral clients?
Well, I think really the big thing is being interested in your clients, in their life. Buying a home is a huge, everything is gathering about the house, being around the house. That's their life, is within their homes. So, really show an interest in their lives, things that are going on outside of their home. What can you do to, show that interest, be a part of their life? Some people are very transactional, and I don't like doing that. I want these people to be part of my lives because I just spent a whole lot of time either showing them properties, getting to know them, or selling their property. And I still get to know them even by being a listing agent for them.
Yeah, there's a great quote, and it's probably someone famous said it, but I don't know who said it. Is what is it? Something about people aren't. I don't know. I don't even know the quote. It's something about being interested versus interesting. If you remember the quote, let me know it. Now I've totally blanked on it. It's like the thing that people, the quote that says, people don't care what you know until they know that you care. That flows in here too. Yeah. But like, the way to be interesting is to be interested, I think is what it is. That's a good quote too. Yeah. And so I love that you say that. It's not just, this isn't client 473892 or transaction number 78, whatever. This is a human being with human emotions. I think, especially as people join teams and have leverage and are doing multiple deals at once, it can be very easy to go, oh, and who are you helping? Well, I'm helping on 123 Main Street and I'm helping on 76 Broadway. And it's like, no, these are people. And so I love that you say actually show interest in their lives, get to know them, build a actual human relationship. And what's great about that is that's something that Zillow cannot do. And I'm not shitting on Zillow, but Zillow can't build a human relationship with these humans. They can build better tech than we can, and they have. And if you think I'm wrong, you're wrong. That's fine. That's something that AI cannot do. Not yet, maybe in 6 weeks or 8 months. I don't know. You can see the movie Her and think about that. But building an actual human relationship is what builds longevity in this career. So I love that a lot. The next one you talked about before we were on camera, you talked about you continue to check in. So first you got to get to know them and get to know their likes, their wants, their needs when it comes to their house, but also their life, right?
Yeah.
Then you said after the transaction's done, especially when you're working with a buyer, you see them, you're talking to them every day, right?
Yep.
And then you sell them a house and you never talk to them again. You say, hey, look, we need to continue this relationship that you put all this time, money, energy, effort into building, right? So talk about continuing to check in and how you do that.
Well, I obviously want to make sure they're settling into their home because it takes a while. I like reaching out about a week through and saying, hey, how are you guys doing with the move-in? Is there anything I can do to help you guys? Is there anything maybe in the house that maybe needs to be fixed, updated, or anything? I like to try to give them vendors, people they can reach out to. Hey, I've got a handyman. Hey, this broke. Okay, great. Let me go ahead and get somebody for that. Hey, make sure you know that you have a home warranty. Here's the information again. Anything comes up, you give them a call. You give me a holler. If for whatever reason it's not working out, you can't get the right information or you're not conveying the right thing to your home warranty, give me a holler. I'll reach out to the rep. Sweet. And things happen.
So you do that. So I love the 1 week check-in, and I love that you say that you offer vendors. I think that's such a key piece as a homeowner myself, who's not super handy myself. I'm always looking for vendors and, hey, I need some help with this or with that. And it's a pain in the butt.
It is.
You got to interview, and then are they good? And they interviewed well, but are they actually going to do what they say, or is it a good price? And so I love that. So you do a 1 week check-in. Now, I know you kind of check in when you think about them, I'm sure, but do you have a structured check-in besides that 1 week after?
Well, the nice thing is you got your CRM just to keep on top of things because life happens.
Yep.
We get busy, they get busy. Nobody's always going like, hey, yeah, I got to put them on my calendar. It kind of puts it in the calendar for you. Hey, let's do another checkup. And then you can do quarterly checkups. I still like to keep in, really close touch saying, hey, how are things coming along? Tell me a little bit about what you're doing. You were talking about painting the house. So I want to know these fun things that they've been doing. Have you met any of the neighbors? That's a big thing. How do you like the neighborhood so far? Oh, we love it. Awesome. Well, I'll keep that in mind because I have other clients looking in the area too.
Yeah, and I like also in that, especially if they're moving to an area that they're not familiar with. Like I grew up, born and raised East County, San Diego. If I moved to Encinitas in North County, or if I went to Chula Vista in South County, I'll call it South County, whatever.
Yeah.
There are things that I'm not familiar with. So I think another thing would be great is if you see an event that's happening, and I've got 2 young kids, and you're like, hey, did you know they are, did you know in Encinitas they're doing a tree lighting ceremony for the Christmas tree on this date? Or, hey, FYI, I saw they're doing summer concerts in Chula Vista at this park. You might want to check it out. So I love touching base on events as well because you're aware of these things. You're in the community. You're part of local associations. So you see these things. And I love kind of touching base and just, I was thinking about you, thought this might be cool, right? So cool. You got the quarterly check-in. You got the 1 week check-in. A couple things that I think that are also beneficial, and correct me if I'm wrong, is one, especially right after they bought, around tax time the next year, sending them or saying, hey, do you still have all your documents? You're going to need that for taxes. So early in the following year, here's some tax documentation, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because I know when I first bought, they're like, hey, you need all this stuff. And I go, even working at Whissel, who I did a transaction with, I was like, I don't know where this stuff is. It's in an email somewhere maybe. And so it was really nice to be like, here it is. And then, there was another one and this is something that I know, and I don't know if you do, but I know other people do as well, to continue to add value, right? We're talking about building relationships, but I want to also talk about some tactical real estate things you can do. Is I know some people do on their house anniversary, create a new CMA and just say, hey, it's really exciting when the house price goes up. Hey, just FYI, the house price, you've been in here for a year and you've made $130,000. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Hey, you've been in here for a year, you made 20 grand. Like, that's really cool.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly it. You can put them on things like Homebot. I do like to have the anniversaries and go, hey, I was just checking out, what's going on in your neighborhood. And, you got some value there. So good job on that one.
Yeah.
And when rates kind of are fluctuating around, hey, remind me of your rate, because I notice rates are dropping now. You may want to reach out to your lender and see if now is the right time to maybe make that, especially in the last, I would say, about year. A lot of those people are in their 7s, possibly higher,
Yep.
And then people who have FHA and they didn't think about doing a refinance, or their lender hasn't reached out. Hey, you've got some equity. You should talk to your lender about getting out of that FHA. Get out from under that. Don't have that MI. I've had a few clients that did that, and they were like, oh, thank God, it helped us a lot. Now we can go on vacation this year.
Yeah, I was able to get rid of my PMI without refinancing. I just connected with my lender, and they sent out an agent out to do a BPO, a broker price opinion, basically like a cheap appraisal. And because of the home price is increasing and me paying off, I was able to get out of PMI I think I was paying $300 a month for it.
Yeah, every bit counts.
Yeah. So, okay. So we got one is actually show interest in their lives, which sounds obvious, but yes. 2 is continue to check in, especially a week after, a month after, maybe 3 months after. How's the house? What's the next project? Do you need help? And I love that check-in, because 1 week after, they're not thinking about redoing the backyard, but maybe after 3 months, they've settled in, they moved in, they got rid of the boxes. Now they go, yeah, now I want to redo the backyard, or I wanted to do the kitchen, or I wanted to paint the house, right? That was one of the things that I didn't love. So touching with that. Next, you do something that, and you mentioned it's a lot of work, but I love that you do it, and it probably has a massive impact. Talk to me a little bit about pop buys.
Oh yeah, so the famous Christmas pop buys. I order a ton of candles, because hey, who doesn't like a candle during Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Light that up. But I'm a very good. I would consider myself a pretty good baker, so
Good.
I make a ton of cookies. And so with these cute little bags, I've got my candle in there all wrapped up, and then I've got cookies. I put in a little thing and pop by their little house, pop by and just say hi. Sometimes I check in going, hey, is your baby sleeping right now? Because I really don't want the dogs barking when I'm knocking on the door. So I did have that this weekend. I get a feeling she's got down for a nap. And they're like, oh, good job, because she was down for a nap.
Oh, yeah.
But I said, I left it on your front porch.
Yeah, that's important, where you're like, hey, I want to be helpful. And they're like, I'm so mad at you. So where do you get the candles from?
I actually go to, Bath and Body Works.
Okay.
So
you just buy a bunch of the same one, or
I buy like a variety of like 5, and I get them, sent to my house. Some of them show up broken, which I need to go bring those back. But hey, it is what it is.
Yep.
It's a pretty good chance something's going to get broken in all that. So, but yeah, I just order a ton, and then I get them all set up in bags. I do, I clip my card and a cute little like snowman or something to it, and pop those by. If people don't actually and I knock on their doors. If they're not home, I leave it on the thing, and I text them and said, hey, I just want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I left a little Christmas gooding at your front porch. And, I've had clients that go every year. They're like, oh, my God, we look forward to this every year. I was doing the See's Candies thing, the small one, but that got expensive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I've got skills here. I'm going to bake.
Good for you.
It's going to take me a few weekends of baking. I got a deep freeze, and I got these industrial tubs that I can pile it into right away. I tell my kids, I go, don't go into the tub or I'm going to kick your booty. My daughter's like, are you going to save any for us? I go, yes, I will save some for you. But don't touch them until I've got these out. So.
And now for these, you mentioned earlier, you do it for your past clients, but you also do it for people that you're working with currently or that,
yeah. I like to do that too, just so they know that I am here. I haven't gone anywhere during the holidays. I care, and I want to make sure that we still keep in conversation about what's going on with the market, where they are. They can get a phone call anytime, but why not be like, hey, I want you to know I'm still here for you.
Yeah, and of course, like that, there's so many times where I've needed to talk to someone, but I'm like, I'm not going to call them. And then if I see them at the grocery store, I'm like, by the way, I wanted to talk with you. And so I love that. I love that you actually knock on the door rather than just leave it. I love that you actually do it. It opens the way to have a conversation. And even if you don't catch them then and you text them, they go, oh my God, I was just thinking about you, or thank you so much. And it's a great way to have a touch without saying, hey, you want to buy or sell? You know anyone that wants to? No? Okay. Again, relationship-based business versus transactional business, right? Yeah. So I love that. And so you also, I know you said your main one is a Christmas one, but let's just brainstorm really quick. If we want to do this 4 times a year, what could we do for spring?
Well, we do Whissel events.
Okay.
That's another big thing.
We're getting to that next. But if someone's like, no, Popeyes are my jam, right? You said you did a summer one, right?
I do.
Every once in a while?
It's kind of limited because I can only make so much jam when I go up to Oregon. So much I can bring back. So a lot of my favorites, I'll bring some jam and then I'll mix it up. Next year, like okay, I'll get other people jam this next year. But that's really a lot of it. And then, like I just said, phone calls. Hey, you want to catch lunch? Let's catch up.
So let's go to the next one. So the next one we have is the last one and I want to dive into it because you mentioned it both ways. But making a phone call, having a genuine conversation, and inviting them to the next thing. I feel like real estate, most of real estate is next stepping people, right? We're here. And it's not. Oh, nice to see you. Would you like to buy a house right now? No. It's. Oh, it's nice to meet you. If you meet him at the house, let's get an appointment. Yep. Then let's go do showings, and then let's set off. And it's always next step. If you go from here to try and sell a house, it's too fast, too quick. And so having the genuine conversation is great on the phone, and you next step them either to getting lunch or coffee or drinks or something to deepen that relationships or an event. So let's talk about inviting them to something small, coffee or lunch. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, well, like I said, a lot of my clients end up being my friends and stuff like that. So it makes it nice that I can just be like, hey, we haven't talked in a while. Let's get together. What's your schedule looking like next week? Do you have time for lunch or a coffee or something like that? Or hey, let's get out for dinner. Let's go out for dinner and drinks and, Mexican food's always easy.
Oh, I love Mexican food. Now, when you do this, do you pay?
Oh, yeah.
Always? Okay.
Yeah.
And then do you do this, and I think this is important, I'm going to preface it because I know your answer. Do you do this as a way to go, oh, good, now I'll trap them for coffee, and now we'll have to talk about real estate? Do you have any intention of talking about real estate, or if it comes up organically, it comes up, but there's no genuine...
I'm there because I'm their friend.
Yeah.
And they're my friend.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what happens. I'm genuinely interested and want to keep with my past clients are my friends.
Yeah.
A lot of them become very good friends.
And so, again, next stepping them is you're not going to come with a CMA prepared just in case. You're not going to come with a search prepared on Ylopo. We love you, Ylopo. But this is not the situation for that. Now, if they say, yeah, I was really thinking about, possibly selling, then you can next step them into the next step, which is, cool, I'll come by next week. Let's run through. I'll run the CMA. We'll look at what the market looks like, and we'll have that meeting as that. But this is just us being friends and homies and getting to know each other.
Yep. I mean, that's it. I just want to know what's going on with their lives.
Good. And again, that leans back to number one of show that you actually have interest in them, and it builds upon itself, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you invite them to coffee, to lunch, to dinner, Mexican food, to drinks, whatever. Let's also talk about the other kind of other version of this, which is our events. That, like, we host 4 events a year that we invite. We call them our friends and family events. They're not our client events. Clients are, again, transactional versus relational. If you're a transactional business, you have clients. If you have a relationship business, you have friends and family. Not everyone you have to invite to Thanksgiving or to Christmas or give them a gift, but they should be more than just, oh, that was a transaction at 123 Main Street, right? So talk a little bit about how you go about inviting people. And actually, let me preface the events. We do 4 events a year. Our agents can invite clients to these 4 events. We usually do, or this year I'll talk about, we did a movie night. We rented out a movie theater in spring. In summer, we did a summer barbecue. In fall, we did fall photos at our office. We've also done like a fall festival, which is just like the summer barbecue, where we rent out a park and do this whole thing. And then winter, we did
the pie giveaway.
We did a pie giveaway and photos with Santa.
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit how you, because sometimes people go, well, I don't want to invite my friends to a work thing. How do you get beyond that and be like, no, I'm adding value to them?
I just reach out and said, hey, do you guys, like, say with the Christmas picture thing, the fall thing, that's a great thing to do. And people are like, oh my God, that's amazing. And I said, yeah, you put them on cards and you send those out for Christmas. We're doing pies. Oh, awesome. Really? A lot of people go out of town, but then some people come in town and they're like, I don't want to bake. That's like, nobody likes baking except me.
I would say you do. I think you do.
Apparently, yeah.
And so, yeah, you see it as a way, again, it's the next step before the next step, right? You see it as a way to deepen the relationship and not like, oh, they're going to come and I'm going to tell them about this new painter I have. No, you're just building this relationship. And from that, and I want to be very clear as we talk about this and people are listening and they're saying, cool, Bryan, I don't need more friends. I need more clients, right? How do these friendships turn into clients for you?
Well, like you said, the people that they know you, trust you, all that good stuff.
Yeah, the know, like, and trust.
Know, like, and trust. That's the big thing. You're always going to be top of mind. So when they're talking to people, they're at a party. Oh yeah, we're thinking of buying or selling or something like oh, my friend Christa. They don't have to say my realtor.
Yep.
My friend.
Yep.
She's an agent and she can help you out. Okay. Wow. Great. I don't have to, go searching for somebody. You have somebody for me because they like and know, trust them.
Yeah. Yeah. And having that warm referral, it's the next best thing to having a past client. They already know. And I'll equate this to before I was here, I was doing weddings and portraits, and the amount of bookings I got from people that were in the bridal party at a wedding, and they're like, I already know you, I already like you, I saw the photo. Like, it's easy. It's the same thing when the bride refers you to her friend versus shooting the bride's wedding again. That's maybe family photos, right?
Yeah.
And so that connection is when you get referrals, it's phenomenal, and you don't have to bug them consistently to write referrals. When you ask them to write a review, it's not, my car dealership asked me to write a review, and no, it's like, oh, I want to help you.
Yeah, they want to help you.
And so by doing things like actually caring, Adrian, he's number 1 agent on our team. We did a podcast talking about the same thing. Actually care about them, and continue to check in with them with just how's your life, thinking about you, how can I help you, how can I solve your problems? Because Kyle likes to say, which I think he stole from someone. Again, I'm doing a really bad job at quoting people, but we solve problems for a living, right?
Yeah.
We solve problems for money. Like, that's what we do.
Yeah.
And so how can I solve your problem? Oh, I need a handyman. Here's my handyman. Even though we're not getting a kickback on that, we're building a relationship with that handyman because we keep sending him business or her business, and we're building a relationship with our clients. And so it just compounds, right?
Yep, absolutely.
I love your pop buys. We didn't do a brainstorm, but if you have ideas for pop buys, go ahead and put them in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you do pop buys, I would love to hear what you guys do. Christa does things, and I love this because it's actually what you physically create. It's not like, hey, I bought something for you, and here's a doormat, which is not bad. But I love that you're showing, I actually did this. I spent time. It's not, I spent money, right? But I love the idea of pop buys, and it doesn't have to be extravagant, expensive. It can be inexpensive. It can just be, I was thinking about you, right? And then invite them to events, whether that's lunch, dinner, drinks, coffee, or if you're your company or you throw client events and friends and family events, where you throw big events. These are all ways that you, not only do you build better relationships, you build a longer lasting business, but then also you get to do business with people that you like, right? So think about this here. If I have an acquaintance and they're like, oh, I need a landscaper, and I'm like, this guy's kind of a jerk, I'm not going to refer him to my landscaper. And therefore, my landscaper gets protected from the jerks that I know that aren't going to be a good fit. And so now your business is built on people that you know, that they know, like, and trust you, and that fit in your vibe and your tribe, because you're getting referred by your friends, their friends.
Yeah. That's exactly
Is that a whole kind of summation of what you do to help build a long-term business?
The circle of friends.
Yeah. So, Christa, if people have questions, if people want to learn more about what you do, how you bake your cookies or make your jam, or if they have a referral for San Diego and they're like, Christa, I connected with you, I want to send people your way, what's the best way for people to connect with you?
I guess my phone number.
Which is?
Oh my God. You actually want me to? I don't ever repeat my phone number.
You don't have to give your phone number. What about on social? Can they hit you up on social?
They can hit me on social. I was going to say, I don't remember my business phone number, so.
That's fine. Can they hit you up on social media?
Absolutely.
On Instagram, Facebook, where you favorite at?
Both. Instagram, Facebook.
And
they
just
want to call through.
Christa Curtin.
Christa Curtin.
C-U-R-T-A-I-N?
Super easy.
T-A-I-N?
T-I-N.
T-I-N.
So not like lacy blue curtains or a steel curtain, like Jane Curtin.
Cool. Well, excellent. Before we get into our Whissel Widget of the Week, which is something that we use in our daily lives that saves us time, makes us money, helps us have more fun. If you enjoyed this, if you got value out of this, please, please, please write us a review. Just like you want your clients writing you a review, we value those reviews that you leave us on your favorite podcast platform. They're incredibly difficult to get. And so when people take the time and spend 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, and talk about what this podcast means to them, it means the world to us. So thank you so much for those that you have done, and thank you if you are going to. Also, if you feel like, hey, when you were listening to this, if you thought of someone, maybe it was your team leader, maybe it was an agent, maybe it was your assistant, and you go, I want to do this, or I think you should do this, or this is exactly what you do, and I think you can add a few things, go ahead and share this with them, whether it be the YouTube link, the Apple Podcast link, the Spotify, whatever. I don't care how you do it. But if this adds value, or if you're thinking about someone when we were talking about this, share this with them. And then finally, thewhisselway.com has a ton of information. If you like listening to this and you go, I want more, you can join our Facebook groups, or you subscribe to our YouTube channel, our weekly newsletter. The one I forgot earlier was people are leaving San Diego, and we cover Southern California. But if they're going to Northern California, if they're going to Nebraska, if they're going to Florida, if they're going to Maine, we need to send them to someone. So our referral network is on there. You can join our referral network to be on the list of people that we could potentially send referrals to. All that is on thewhisselway.com. So as we break into our Whissel Widget of the Week, this is something that, like I said, we use in our business or personal lives that just makes things a little better. Would you like to go first, or would you like me to?
What you got for me?
So this I was actually thinking about earlier. I forgot what it was, and then as you were talking about it, I really, really love this idea. I hope my wife isn't watching, because this is going to be for her as well. But buying little ornaments that you can put a picture in that says 2023. I think this is great for clients that bought a house or sold a house with you in the year, and you're just going to buy a couple ornaments. I think I got a 3-pack for $16 on Amazon or something like that. So they're $5 or $6 a piece. And you just, if you had an event and you had, like we did, we had our fall photo event or photos with Santa, take a little picture, print it out, cut it out, put it in there. And I think that's a great thing to put on their Christmas tree. Maybe put who it's from on the back, maybe a sticker, but don't do it on the front. It's not about your brand, it's about them. And if maybe you sold them a house, but you didn't take a photo, you forgot, find a photo on their Facebook or Instagram and print it out and put something like that as a memento, because as our kids are putting ornaments on trees and we go, oh my God, look, when Elliot was just born, it's really, really cool. I think it's really impactful. It's really personal. And I do like to timestamp that and go, this happened in 2023. And you could do, home sweet, if you want to be generic about it, which is not bad, but maybe you say, home sweet home in 2023. And that's, oh yeah, we bought our house in 2023.
I love that.
It's super, I like it. It's cute, it's easy, it's inexpensive, and it's really easy to execute.
And that's cute for like the Popeyes at Christmas. Mm-hmm. The ones that bought that year, you put that in there. I love that.
Put a little photo of their house, a little photo of them, a photo of their kids, especially kids grow so quick. So seeing that year after, they will put, if you put, unless they have like a very important scheme of the white and blue or whatever, they will put that ornament on that tree every year and think about you every single year.
I love that.
They just will.
That's a cool one.
And don't make it about you. Make it about them.
Yeah.
Put your name on the back, sure, but don't make it about you.
I like
that. Thanks. What do you got?
Okay, so it's nothing new or anything like that, but one of the gals in the office, Erin, she got me hooked on Audible.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I have a client in escrow up in Hemet.
Okay. Which is an hour and a half plus from here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and the Popeyes. That took me for just 11 people. I went all the way to Julian. I was in Hamul. A lot of driving.
Yeah.
So I've become addicted to listening to books. Mm-hmm. And whether it's, growing my business, which I don't like, those get kind of dry for me.
Okay.
I like fiction, some nonfiction. But I like things just to make my time go by and to seem less dreading of that drive. That's a long drive. I literally had a home inspection up in Hemet. Took me an hour and 40 minutes to get there. Yep. I was there a whole 45 minutes. Drove home. And I was like, sweet. I listened to a good portion of a book.
Yeah.
So I was okay with that.
Cool. I love Audible. I go back and forth. I get Audible and then I get a bunch of credits and I have to buy a bunch of books fast.
Yeah.
One of my favorite books on Audible, this will be a little bonus widget, is Exactly What to Say by Phil Wickman. Again, maybe it's not even his name, but Exactly What to Say. It's like the book is about an hour and a half, and it's so good. It gives you like 20 little key phrases and explains how to use them. Really, really, really great book. Really good book to hear over and over and over again. And if you're someone like me who I'm like, I want to listen to a book, but I don't want to listen to 6 hours of book because I don't drive that much, that's a great book to listen to.
Yeah.
Christa, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for opening up your playbook and sharing how you are building a business to last, to get repeat and referral business. I appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you asking me to come on here.
Of course. Thank you for watching this week's episode of the Whissel Way Podcast. We'll see you next week.
Wait. Before you leave, I want to share some more tips and tricks that we're using in our business to take it to that next level. Just click right here. And don't forget to subscribe. Click right here.